Lindsey Patrick-Wright. I'm the manager of the Southeast branch of the Nashville Public Library, and I am bringing you another super simple Instant Pot recipe. Look, you've been on this journey with me for quite a while now. You probably know that most of my recipes are super simple, but this one really is super simple. We're going to be making oatmeal in the Instant Pot, specifically steel cut oatmeal. You can absolutely make use rolled oats in this. I just like steel cut better, and we'll talk about that in a minute. This recipe is so simple that I'm going to start out with a tip. When I got my Instant Pot out, getting ready to make this and make the video, I opened it up and I noticed that it had a very savory smell to it. And you can make savory oatmeal, I guess, but we're going to be making oatmeal and adding sweet ingredients to it. So I don't want any of that aroma kind of infused in my oatmeal. So I wanted to tell you a couple of just maintenance tips with your Instant Pot. If you notice an odor, and that's one of the most common complaints about Instant Pots, then you probably need to give your pot a really good clean. You can wipe it down with paper towel and soapy water. There are no electronic bits up here that you really have to worry about, but you don't want to submerge it. This is a valve that you can pop off to the side and then also thoroughly clean, and that makes sure that your pressure valve is working correctly. But the thing that's really probably holding the most odor is this seal right here. Now this is what ensures that's definitely what has the savory smell to it. But this is what ensures that your pot comes up to pressure. And you can pull this out and you can put this in the dishwasher, soak it in the sink, whatever you want to. Because I obviously use my Instant Pot a lot, actually have backups of this. And so I know that when I'm using the black one, that is for my sweeter things, like if I'm making yogurt or applesauce or something like that. Ooh, I haven't done applesauce yet. You all can imagine that's going to be super simple too. But anyway, it's super, I mean, is this like the word of the day? Yes. But it's really easy to pop this back in. There's only one way for it to actually go in. And so you'll know if you don't have it put in correctly, because your pot will not come up to pressure. You're not going to ruin anything, but if you are a little uncertain about it, then I would do a test run and just put water in there and make sure that you can get your pot to come up to pressure. So I'm going to just pop this around the edge and make sure that it looks like all around the edge the seal is in place. All right, now that we have our seal in place, let's talk about the recipe and our ingredients. So obviously you're going to need your steel cut oats. For when you're making steel cut oats, you need a 1-to-3 ratio of oats to liquid. It's different with rolled oats, and I will put the recipe for rolled oats in the comments. So we have 1 cup of steel cut oats, and obviously these are going to expand in the Instant Pot. And I've got 2 cups of water and 1 cup of almond milk. I know I've talked before about dairy not mixing. You can use milk in this recipe because, again, you mostly have water, so it's not all milk. But milk might scorch, and it might scorch at the bottom, and then you've got scorchy oatmeal. Almond milk is not going to scorch. So that's why, and plus we don't do a lot of like dairy in here. Here being this house. So we've got 2 cups of water, 1 cup of almond milk, a cinnamon stick. You don't have to, you can use cinnamon, or you can leave that out altogether. But the part I wouldn't leave out is a pinch of salt. And that might sound a little bit weird, but as those of us who are amateur chefs are beginning to understand, salt really adds dimension to whatever you're making. And this will end up being sweet oatmeal, and so the salt will kind of balance that out. So you will need salt if you choose. All right, let's talk about steel cut oats. Get a little Alton Brown angle here. So as you see here, steel cut oats look very different than the rolled oats that we're used to seeing in like our instant oatmeal packages. These will sprout when they are in the Instant Pot and under pressure and get some moisture on them, but they will still have this like nice nutty bite to them, which I really like. I think they also have some added health benefits, like as opposed to the rolled oats. But I'm already pretending to be a chef in this series. I'm not going to pretend to be a dietitian or a nutritionist. But I do think that they have some added benefits as far as that's concerned. I just like them. All right, here comes the hard part. Just kidding. There's nothing hard about this. I think putting the little seal in was maybe a little challenging. You just pour everything in. No trivet to worry about. Now remember, because we're pressure cooking this, so when I put all of the ingredients in, you can barely see the oats. All you see is liquid. But these tiny little oats are going to sprout open and they're going to absorb all of that liquid that's in here. And don't forget your cinnamon stick. So we are actually going to cook this for 3 minutes. We're going to manually cook it for 3 minutes. And then we're going to let it naturally release for 20. So it sounds like a long time. And you're probably thinking to yourself, I could probably make this on the stovetop, which you can. I am not going to stop you from that. However, every time I've made oatmeal on the stovetop, it boils over and it makes a mess. And you don't have to worry about this, with the Instant Pot. So this isn't really a time saver, but it does keep you from having to clean the top of your oven. All right, so you want to make sure that the valve is set to sealing up at the top, and you are going to set this to manually pressure cook on high for, again, 3 minutes. So pressure cook, it's normal and it's high pressure, so we need to take the time down a little bit. So we'll beep and then it'll start building up to pressure. There's a lot of liquid in here, so it's probably going to take it about 10 minutes to come up to pressure. And then again, we'll have the 3-minute cook time and then the 20-minute natural pressure release time. So, clean your kitchen, do a little laundry, then just come back and deal with this in a minute. Probably 30 minutes to be more exact. See you in a bit. As you can tell from the display, this is naturally released for 20 minutes. The L stands for lapsed, as in lapsed time. So that's a pretty long time. Obviously, all of the pressure that needed to be released has been released, and our float valve on top is popped down. So we're safe to open our pot. There still may be some residual steam, so make sure that you're a little bit careful. It smells so good. All right. So I see my cinnamon stick up at the top, and you'll want to fish that out. All right, so this is what our oatmeal looks like just right after we open it. So you can see that the oatmeal has expanded and it has absorbed all of that liquid. So we're just going to give it a stir. And right now it is the perfect consistency. So if you are serving it for breakfast, you can go ahead and serve it as is. So like I said, I am going to be making these for meal prep. So I have these single serve containers that I'd like to dish my oatmeal out in. So in the morning, I just have to grab it and prep it and put it in the microwave. If you want to put it in a larger airtight container, you absolutely can, and just dish out and put it in a bowl. Now, it's the perfect consistency right now if you want to eat it. And also, it doesn't have any sweetener in it. We are going to add our pinch of salt. Now, why didn't I add the salt when it was baking? Here's why. When you add salt and you let it bake, it loses some of its flavor, but it keeps the sodium. And so we primarily want this, obviously, for flavor, so we're going to add it at the very end. That way we get the flavor without getting too much sodium. So what this looks like for reheating, when I package it, I just put the oatmeal in, because one morning I might feel like adding milk, one morning I might feel like not adding milk. It just depends on what you're in the mood for. So I leave it in here completely plain. Some different ways that we like to prepare ours here is, of course, brown sugar and cinnamon. It already has some cinnamon obviously infused into it now, but you can add more cinnamon, add a little bit more butter. You can add raisins. Maple syrup is really nice too, and some kind of frozen fruit. If you had frozen fruit, I would put it in the microwave when you're heating it up. And heating depends on your microwave. 30, I would start at 30 seconds and give it a stir and see if it's the temperature that you want it to be, and just keep adding 30 seconds until it's the temperature you want it to be. So peaches are in season right now, which is why I really wanted to make this oatmeal, because peaches and cream oatmeal is pretty fantastic. So let's give this a shot. I've already cut up some of my peaches. So if I were reheating this, since these peaches are fresh and not frozen, I would not put them in the microwave. I would microwave the oatmeal. I would probably add a little bit of cream, again, for peaches and cream. But this won't need any sweetener because the peaches are so sweet. And then I'm going to also add some pecans to the top of it. So I'm going to get some of my oatmeal, get a big peach. Let's go ahead and get a pecan, just really make a big show of this. Like I said before, the reason I like using steel cut oatmeal is of course there's some mushiness to it. It's oatmeal, but it has this like nutty crunch to it as well that you just don't get from the rolled oats. So good. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know if you have been inspired with your own oatmeal creation. I have a certain 10-year-old in this house who I'm sure plans to add chocolate chips to her oatmeal and maybe some peanut butter, and I'm not going to stop her from doing that. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Stay safe out there, wash your hands, and we hope to see you real soon.